All right, greetings. Sorry for the grainy night footage, but I mean, I'm out here in the Colorado desert, northeast of the Salton Sea, and I just pulled over into this wash area because I needed some place to sleep. For some reason, hotel prices are just like through the roof right now, and like the nearest cities are just all full of snowbirds from Canada, Colorado, or whatnot, trying to get away from the winter weather. It's like they're like, it's spring already. Let's go somewhere where it's warm. So they're all out here. Anyway, this wash area, I mean, I don't know, looking around, you're not going to be able to tell. But looking around here, looks like this place gets frequently flooded every time that there's major rainstorms that come through this area. Looks like a lot of the surrounding rock is like mudstone rock. And I don't know, just by looking at the way the land flows, so to speak, you kind of see evidence of moving water through here. And a lot of the vegetation is probably adapted to either resisting flash floods or growing in the soils that are laid out after. But yeah, so I was walking around and just biologizing and looking at these bushes here. And I was seeing some interesting things that I want to share with you. All right, so this one we're going to have to move in kind of slow. Right there. Oh, it looks like he just woke up. I think I woke up. I woke him up. I'm going to have to zoom in on it. Let's go. All right, right there, that is Urosaurus graciosus. Oh, he fell asleep in the bush. And my loud ass is just waking him up, or her up, I'm sorry. I think it's a female. I looked underneath her and she didn't have any bright coloration, which is indicative of males, especially within the Psorothamnus. By the way, that's the family that this thing is in, Psorothamnus. But yeah, she was just sleeping in this bush. So Urosaurus graciosus, common name for this is the long-tailed sagebrush lizard, I believe. And yeah, this is where they live. They live in trees and they live in bushes. They kind of hang out in there and forage there. They're kind of like a semi-arboreal or shrub-orial. I don't know even know if that's a word. But yeah, they're a lizard that lives in trees and in vegetation. Damn, this chick must have been tired earlier. It's crazy because I got my light shining in her face. Looks like it's barely bothering her. I don't know, it looks like she's waking up. She's about to move. There we go. There we go. She woke up. There you go, waking up. I wonder if my light is causing like bugs to like fly in her face, but it looks like she's wising up as to what's going on. She's having an alien encounter right now. Yeah, Urosaurus graciosus, long-tailed sagebrush lizard, family Psorothamnus. Same family as horned lizards and fence lizards. Huge family in the southwestern United States. Side-blotched lizards are also in that family. It's just cool seeing them like just lounging here in this bush. There must not be a lot of predators at night. They must be pretty safe in these bushes. Must not be a lot of people out here biologizing these bushes either. I wonder if you could see that third eye, that pineal eye. Guess it's an eye that senses plain polarized light, I think. Can't remember. But it's linked up to the pineal organ in the brain, which we have too. Just we don't have the third eye. But these lizards do. Don't worry, it's okay. Nobody's gonna touch you. I'm not gonna touch you. I don't have to be abusive with everything I catch. I mean, as long as she's staying here nice and still, then we're good. So one of the ways you can tell this is Urosaurus graciosus is you gotta look at the scales. I'm gonna try to zoom in on it. You gotta look at those scales right there. I know that's horrible. On the dorsal surface of their body, they have a kind of like a mixture between small and medium scales. It's hard to describe, but you would compare the scale pattern of different Psorothamnus lizards to tell what genus and even what species they're into. Yeah, she's waking up. I'm gonna just leave her alone. All right, let's go on to the next bush. Ooh, look what we got here. Ooh. Oh, you know what this makes me think. I've been trying, baby, holding back this feeling for so long. So what we got right here is a mating pair of what I think is Pseudosermyle straminea, or I think they call them the gray walking stick. I don't know, I could be wrong, but the reason that gives me away is because I know of another species of walking stick called the short horn walking stick, And I can see right there on that male, the male's the smaller one, it looks like it got pretty long antennae, and I think that's the other species. But look how big the male is compared to the female. The female's this long. The female's obviously the bigger one. And you find that a lot in the insect world, where females are usually many times bigger than the males, which makes sense because they're the baby factories. The males are pretty much there just to, you know, transfer sperm and genes. But yeah, they're going at it. Right there in the copulatory position. I'm sorry that this is shitty lighting. So I forget the family that these things are in, but they are in the order Phasmidae, which is the order of stick insects, or insects that have evolved in morphology to mimic sticks. They don't all mimic sticks. Some of them mimic leaves. Some of them do a poor job of mimicking sticks. But it seems like the whole order just mimics something. Some of them can fly. If you go down to South America or Central America, you'll see stick insects flying around. You see some big ones flying around too. But yeah, order Phasmidae. Phasmidae is the order of stick insects. So any six-legged creature that looks like a stick is probably in the order Phasmidae. Go ahead and learn something. But yeah, Pseudosermyle straminea. I think the gray walking stick here in the California, Colorado desert. Party. Anyway, by the way, if you're wondering what plant this is on, this is I think this is Stephanomeria, the family Asteraceae, daisy family. I don't know, I really can't tell for sure because like I don't see any flowers flowering, but I don't know, I think it's Stephanomeria. The freaks come out at night. The freaks come out at night. The freaks come out. Whoa, looky, 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 looky. Again, sorry, poor light, but this is another classic desert animal that comes out at night. It's a night forager. This is in the family Lycosidae, or the family of wolf spiders. Let me see if I can get around it without spooking it so you can see its eyes. Well, I crawled all the way around it. I didn't even do nothing. Hopefully I can be able to zoom in on this, but I don't know if you could tell just looking at the eyes how they're arranged. Lycosids usually have two big eyes in the front, like at the front of their face, that are pretty much on top of a row of four small eyes. That's how you know it's in the family Lycosidae. I'm not sure exactly what species this is. It's probably like, I don't know what they call them, desert wolf spiders or something like that. But I'll figure it out and put a caption, no doubt. So this one looks like it might be a female. I can't really tell. I can't see the pedipalps, see if they're swollen. But it looks like a female. She's probably just chilling here, waiting for some unlucky insect or maybe even a small lizard or even a small snake. And it'll come by and use those chelicerae to impale it and eviscerate it and eat it. Very vicious predators. This is a better angle right here. They can bite if you mess with them, you know. I don't think they've ever killed anybody, but yeah, Lycosidae, the wolf spider. They're like kind of like sprint ambush predators. And this one's just sitting here just waiting for something to come by. And then they'll just lash out, lunge at it, and just impale it with its chelicerae and eviscerate it up. Use that sucking stomach to basically suck up all the juices that it turns its prey flesh into. Oh, this light is bringing the food to her, I guess. All right, let's stop interfering. Let's keep moving on. You know what, to be honest, it feels pretty nice out right now. It's about 8:30 at night. The temperature is like around 73, 74. It's probably going to drop into like the low 60s in the middle of the night. But it's nice and comfortable out here. Nice, cool breeze coming through. And, you know, those pleasant conditions might be a reason why we're seeing at least some life coming out of this wash area right now. But I guess the point I'm making by saying that is that, you know, animals and wildlife, they're pretty civil too. You know, they like it when it's nice out. So they come out when it's nice out. Nice spring, nighttime weather. You got things wanting to enjoy it too. Well, at least at night, the plants can bring animals. And we got a pretty cool example right here. And right here, we got two animals, two insects representing two different families, feeding on two different developmental stages of this flower. And I'll talk about this flower in a minute, but first I want to talk about these animals. So right here, this first one, the one on the right, let me get focus, see if I can get focus, get some focus. There we go. All right, that one right there, you can see it's dipping its proboscis, probably taking advantage of the nectar sources that the buds of this flower or this almost flower is producing. So that moth is in the family Noctuidae. I believe it's in the family Noctuidae. But this don't really mind me at all. That's crazy. It's just going to town. It's trying to get that nectar. I wonder if it's cheating the flower out of that. Like it's taking the nectar without actually pollinating the flower, because the flower ain't even a flower yet, but it's obviously eating something. It's got its proboscis kind of like dug deep in there. There's plenty of moths and other insects out there that pretty much cheat the flowers. They'll take nectar without actually pollinating anything. And I wonder if that's what this one is doing. I have no idea what the species is. I'm not even quite sure of the family, but to me the family looks like it's Noctuidae, owl moth family. I think that's what they're called. But let's move on to this other one right here. You can see it's in the flower. I can't quite tell right now at this angle, but that looks like another type of moth in a different family, family Tineidae, or the clothing moth family. So then those moths that be eating your clothes, this individual, whatever species it is in that same family. So this one right here, it looks like it's dipping its proboscis in there, getting those nectar sources. But as you can tell, it's kind of sitting on top of the pistillate and staminate parts of the flower. So it's moving pollen around, and whatever flower it visits next, it's probably going to bring the pollen from this flower over to that one. And that is important for this species of flower, because this flower is a rare or threatened / endangered species in California. This flower right here is known as Orcutt's woody aster, or Xylorhiza orcuttii, in the Asteraceae family, the daisy family, the sunflower family. See that flower? Looks like a daisy or a sunflower. So Asteraceae family. But here you go, an example of how pollination works. An example of a nectar thief, and an example of a nectar feeder that plays by the rules. But yeah, important for this flower because this flower is endangered. Very limited populations. I think it only grows on areas like this, kind of like muddy wash systems, like eroding muddy wash systems. Yeah. See, nice night here in the desert. You got a lot of activity. Dang, like biologizing the desert at night is so convenient because like you got a lot of insects just trying to sleep. But right here, I think this is Scythocerca nitens, common name the bird grasshopper, in the family Orcuttii, order Orthoptera. Orcuttii is the family of short-horned grasshoppers. They call them short-horned grasshoppers because of the antennae. I mean, they probably don't look short to you, but compared to other members in the Orthoptera, these are pretty short. These guys have antennae that are relatively short length, as opposed to like crickets that have long filamentous antennae. But yeah, I think this is the largest grasshopper here in the western United States, in California. You see these in the cities, you see them in the desert, see them in the chaparral, you see them everywhere. Got those classic saltatorial legs. Saltatorial means jumping, by the way. I think it's trying to go to sleep because these are pretty active during the day. I think this one's small. This one's a small one too, so it looked like it might be a male. But yeah, Scythocerca nitens, family Orcuttii, order Orthoptera, order of grasshoppers, crickets, katydids. If you live in California, most definitely you've probably seen this before. All right, my bad, I lied. This is not Stephanomera. This is, I'm looking at the flowers right now. I don't know if you can see that, the yellow flowers. Oh, let me focus. Come on, focus, man. Yeah, right there we got those yellow flowers. This is in the genus Bebbia. Asteraceae again, same family as daisies, but it's not Stephanomera. This is in the genus Bebbia. I think the species is Bebbia juncea. I forget the common name, but I've seen this a couple of times before. I guess I confuse it with Stephanomera sometimes. But anyway, if you look at these little critters that we got on them right now, hopefully I can get close to it. I know it's going to be hard to focus this, but those are hemipterans in the order Hemiptera, the order of true bugs, bugs with a styloid haustellate mouthpart system. And this is in the family Miridae, or a family of plant bugs. And there's many species within the Miridae. I think the Miridae is one of the most speciose groups of insects out there. Many different species. Many of them are pest species too. And that's probably what this thing is doing. It's being a pest to this bush. It looks like it's sticking its mouth parts into somewhere in between the phyllaries of that flower right there. And it's probably And it's probably making a meal out of the plant juices. And we got another one right here. A lot of Mirids. And then another thing I noticed is, where'd it go? Oh, right there, right there. Where was it at? Where's it at? There we go, right there. It's our good friend Tommy. Class Arachnida. Family Thomisidae, which is the family of crab spiders. And you know it's a crab spider because if you look at the front two legs, they're much larger than the ones in the back. And that's probably for the reason of subduing their prey. Crab spiders are pretty good at camouflaging, especially within Asteracean plants. They'll hang out right there on the flower. And there is a particular genus of crab spider that can actually change its color. I think it kind of reworks the colors in its exoskeleton so it can match the color of whatever flower it's on, whether it be white or yellow. So that one's waiting on that flower, probably waiting for some sort of prey item to come by, like one of those Mirids. Thomisidae, crab spiders. I have no idea what species this is. Oh, look. I wonder if they're going to fight for position on that flower, if they're just going to share it. I'm not sure. Ooh. Well, there goes my answer. See, that's why I like ecology, because there's ecosystems everywhere, whether it's the Mirids, the spiders, the stick insects living in this bush, or anything living on the surface of the sediment there, or anything living within the canyons or the plant life that might be found in there. I mean, there's ecosystems everywhere. I mean, literally everywhere. There's an ecosystem in your stomach. There's an ecosystem in a termite stomach. That's the thing. Like, everything's a resource, no matter what, whether it's space, carbon, nitrogen, whatever. Everything is a resource for something else. That's biologizing right there. And, you know, depending on where you at, what you're surrounded by, you know, however unaffected by disturbance, you know, you get a diversity of organisms found within those ecosystems. And here we can, and even here within this bush, within this Bebbia bush, you know, we got a good example of predator species and prey species. Multiple species, those stick insects too that are living in this. Like, there's a lot of stuff that live in this thing is what I'm saying. So this bush right here creates a pretty decent ecosystem, at least for invertebrates. Oh, and that Urosaurus too. Hell yeah, biologizing. Oh, look what we got right here. So, friends, the Solifugae. Right there, Solifugae. Oh, they're fast. See, I told you they was fast in that other video. Order Solifugae. The freaks come out at night. Order of what they call sun spiders or wind scorpions. But these are a whole nother type of arachnid right here. This one's a small itty bitty one, but you saw how fast it was. Very voracious predator. Got those kind of like vertically lined chelicerae, those chelate chelicerae, those chelicerae that are like pincers. They're an arachnid, so they use their chelicerae to basically eviscerate up the prey. Like grind it into little pieces, grind it into a mush. And then arachnids typically have a sucking stomach that'll basically suck that fluid up and into the digestive tract. So this one looks like a species I've never seen before. It's got those long pedipalps. So the pedipalps are a structure amongst all arachnids that have different purposes depending on what group of arachnid you are. Some groups of arachnids use the pedipalps to catch their prey. For example, like scorpions, they have those chelate pedipalps. These guys don't have any venom. And their pedipalps are those long things that look like legs that are coming out right near the face, but they're not legs. These pedipalps are used more as like a sensory organ, kind of like antennae. So if it senses like some sort of little animal that it can eat, definitely it's going to eat it. Pedipalps in spiders, at least in male spiders, those are used as their sexual reproductive organ. The females have pedipalps to kind of manipulate prey when they're eating it, and also to kind of grab things. Pedipalps are just one of those structures within a whole class of animals that are just used for different purposes. Yeah, more crazy bugs in the desert. Solifugae, the wind scorpions. We're gonna learn something. Well, there you go. There's the desert turned on at night for you. This is probably one of the first episodes that I've done where you actually cannot see the background around me. And I think that's kind of cool. Yeah, this was a nice night out here in the desert, in the Colorado desert, here in southeastern California. Nice weather, nice cool chill breeze, very comfortable, unlike the daytime when it's balls hot. Look, you got the nice city lights in the distance. That's gonna be nice to fall asleep to. And speaking of falling asleep, that's what I gotta do. I gotta wake up early tomorrow in the morning. So I'm about to sign off. Remember, keep your decisions scientific. I make a boss slice. Peace up, peace out. Learn something.